Somalia, a country that has faced decades of war, famine, terrorism, and political instability. For years, the international community has debated how to help Somalia recover, but one country in particular has become deeply involved in Somalia's future: Turkey. The question is, why? Is Turkey and Somalia out of brotherhood and compassion, offering humanitarian aid? Or is there a deeper military and strategic agenda hidden behind this so-called help? In this video, we dive deep into Turkey's role in Somalia, the aid, the military presence, the investments, and the controversies. In 2011, Somalia faced one of its deadliest famines in modern history. More than 250,000 people died, and millions faced starvation. During this tragedy, many countries promised aid, but very few actually showed up on the ground. Turkey did. Then Prime Minister Recep Tayyip Erdogan made a historic visit to Mogadishu with his family and a large delegation. This was the first time in decades that a non-African leader had stepped foot in war-torn Mogadishu. Turkish aid agencies quickly set up humanitarian projects. They built camps for displaced families, distributed food, opened clinics, and drilled wells for clean water. Turkey's image in Somalia changed overnight. For the first time, many Somalis felt that a powerful country was not just sending money from far away, but actually standing side by side with them. Hospitals were built, including the famous Erdogan Training and Research Hospital in Mogadishu, one of the largest in the country. Turkish Airlines became the first international airline to resume regular flights to Mogadishu, connecting Somalia to the world. Roads, schools, and mosques were renovated with Turkish support. For ordinary Somalis, Turkey was not just another foreign power, it was a Muslim country, with cultural and religious ties that made its presence feel familiar and brotherly. But Turkey's involvement didn't stop with humanitarian aid. In 2017, Turkey opened its largest overseas military base in Mogadishu, known as Camp Turksum. This massive base trains thousands of Somali soldiers each year. The goal, according to Turkey, is to help Somalia rebuild its national army and defeat the terrorist group Al-Shabaab. Somalia's army has long struggled with poor training, lack of equipment, and dependence on foreign peacekeepers. With Turkey's training, Somali soldiers are gaining new skills and discipline. Turkish military advisors are also active in operations, providing logistical support and weapons. Yet, critics raise important questions. Why would Turkey choose Somalia, of all places, to build its largest overseas base? Is this really about helping Somalia, or is it about securing a permanent military presence in the Horn of Africa? Remember, Somalia's coastline is one of the longest in Africa. It lies next to the Red Sea, the Gulf of Aden, and the Indian Ocean, some of the most important trade routes in the world. Controlling influence in Somalia means having access to global shipping lanes that connect Asia, the Middle East, and Europe. Beyond military cooperation, Turkey has gained a strong hold over Somalia's economy and politics. Turkish companies manage Mogadishu's seaport and international airport, two of Somalia's most important sources of revenue. Turkey has invested in infrastructure, building roads and government buildings. It has signed agreements in energy exploration, construction, and education. Turkish scholarships bring hundreds of Somali students to study in Turkey every year. For Somalia's government, Turkey is more than a donor, it is a strategic partner. Whenever Somali leaders face political crises, Turkey often steps in as a mediator and supporter. But again, there are concerns. Some Somalis worry that too much reliance on Turkey could weaken Somalia's independence. If key national assets like ports and airports are run by foreign companies, is Somalia truly sovereign? Turkey is not the only foreign power in Somalia. The United States has a strong military presence through drone bases and counter-terrorism missions. The Gulf countries, especially Qatar and the UAE, compete for influence in Somalia's politics. China has also shown interest through trade and infrastructure. In this crowded field, Turkey positions itself differently, as a Muslim ally with historical and cultural connections. Unlike Western powers, Turkey doesn't carry the baggage of colonialism in Africa. This gives Turkey a softer image, but it doesn't erase questions about long-term goals. If you ask ordinary Somalis, you will hear mixed opinions. Some say, Turkey is our brother. They helped us when no one else came. Look at our hospitals. Look at our schools. All thanks to Turkey. Others say, yes, Turkey helped, but now they control our economy and military. Are we truly independent, or are we trading one dependency for another? Still others believe Turkey's presence is a necessary balance. They argue that without Turkey, Somalia would be left vulnerable to Western exploitation or Gulf rivalries. So, which is it? Is Turkey truly in Somalia for humanitarian reasons, or is it pursuing a hidden military agenda? The truth may be somewhere in the middle. Turkey does provide real, tangible aid that has saved lives and changed Somalia for the better. But at the same time, Turkey's growing military, economic, and political role gives it enormous influence over Somalia's future. From a humanitarian perspective, Turkey is a hero. From a geopolitical perspective, Turkey is a rising power expanding its footprint in Africa. As Somalia continues to rebuild, the relationship with Turkey will shape its path. If Somalia manages to use Turkey's support wisely, it could emerge stronger, with a capable army, better infrastructure, and international connections. But if Somalia becomes overly dependent, Turkey's presence could limit Somalia's sovereignty and make it part of a larger power struggle in the Horn of Africa. The key question remains, when Somalia finally stabilizes, will Turkey leave, or will its strategic interests keep it in Somalia for decades to come? Turkey in Somalia, humanitarian help, or hidden military agenda? Perhaps both. What is certain is that Turkey's presence has already reshaped Somalia's politics, economy, and security, and the effects will be felt for generations. So what do you think? Is Turkey a true friend of Somalia, standing in solidarity during hard times? Or is Turkey carefully building its own empire in Africa under the cover of aid and brotherhood? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And if you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep explorations of African geopolitics.